Hey everybody, it's Christopher Holder with Real Life Ministry, and welcome to another one of my video segments. And this is actually another one of my, I call them one-offs. That doesn't sound very good though. I should call them something else. It's not part of a series. It's not part of one of my segments like Real Men or The Soapbox or Church Words. Just a little talk, and it was actually inspired by something that happened a little while back, a few weeks ago, I think. And so I wanted to share something with you that because of what happened, it got me to thinking. And it's attitude affecting outcome. Attitude affecting outcome. I'm not talking about faith, actually. This is not really very deep at all. I shouldn't say that either. Wow, everybody's already turned me off, so I'm now talking to myself. It's not about faith. It's really about being positive and thankful, having a positive attitude, a thankful attitude, a loving attitude. Just basically being full of the joy of the Lord. My wife says to me often, "You don't seem to be full of the joy of the Lord." And I'm like, well, I'm totally. It's like I got tons of joy in my heart. I'm not saying anything right now. And it's like, what do you want from me? Just because I'm not like, I guess, being outwardly or expressively joyful. I'm just sitting there thinking, reading, watching something. I don't know. But anyway. But having a positive outlook, having a thankful outlook, having, not getting riled up, when a circumstance, a situation comes at you, really looking at it and not reacting to, off the cuff, instead of responding thoughtfully to the situation. So let me tell you what happened. Okay. So Vicki and I, she gets off, she works half days, I work half days right now, on Fridays. And so Fridays we like to, sometimes we have stuff we have to do, but we really like to have some fun and have date days or date nights, depending on how long it lasts and when we start. So she reaches out to me, and I think I was planning on doing something. I don't know, like something productive. And she's like, "Hey, you want to go get lunch?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." So we go, she comes home, we go to lunch. It's this place that we've been meaning to try. It was really cool, kind of a warehousey kind of feel. And where we were sitting, they had some basketball on, and we really got into a game. And so we wound up staying quite a while. Had a great time, great food. Then we decided, well, let's go walk off some of the food because we weren't eating the way we were supposed to. And so we went to Garden of the Gods, which is a really cool place here in Colorado Springs, and just walked around for a good while. It's nice. It's all paved. We stayed on the pavement. Wasn't really a hike, but it was a nice long walk. It's a cool park. And so then we came home and proceeded. We were going to play some cards and just hang out. And so we're just a little ways into playing cards, I think. I don't think we'd gone through more than one hand. And she happens to glance down at her hand, and the main diamond from her wedding set was gone. Now, ladies, I know you can imagine, what this would be like. You'd probably, be upset. Right? And for the guys, maybe too, if you start thinking about, well, that's going to cost money, kind of thing. Well, what happened was, Vicki was concerned. Obviously, I could see she was, upset and concerned, but she was very cool about it. And she didn't flip out in any way, form, or fashion. And for me, I'm just like, little tiny shiny rock and we don't know how long it's been gone. Um, you know, we went for that hike outdoors, and you know, we've been going around, and I mean, it could have been, for all I know, it could have been gone for days, and she just didn't notice. And I'm thinking it's more than likely gone, you know. So right there, this isn't about faith, right? I didn't have faith that we were going to find this thing at all, but I was at least, you know, optimistic or hopeful enough that I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's all right. Let's just look around where you're sitting, just in case it just fell out of the setting. And so we did, and it's like, okay, well, maybe, you know, you reaching in your purse could have gotten, you know, come loose. So we emptied out her purse, and I think we checked her car. And then at that point, I'm pretty much done, and I'm just like, here's the thing. I love my wife so much. She is so awesome. Oh gosh, she's good to me. Especially here lately, but I won't go into that. I've gone through some stuff recently, and she's just been such a huge blessing to me, but she's always a blessing to me. Love her. We've been married almost 20 years. In fact, 20 years in, what's today? In less than a month. We'll have been married 20 years. She's put up with me. She's an amazing, amazing woman. And I know her, you know, and, you know, it's cool. Again, she was being way cooler than I would have expected. Because I know, you know, her wedding set means a lot to her. But she was still being pretty cool, but I could just tell, because I know her, I could just tell that she was upset, and I'm just like, you know what, honey, it's okay. We'll get it replaced, you know, and it's you know, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. It's all right. You know, I wasn't sure how upset she really was, because she just wasn't showing it. But I knew she was upset, and I was just like, you know, whatever we got to do. We'll get it replaced. We'll get your ring all fixed up and everything. And she was like, well, you know, you remember the other day I told you I bumped my hand on, I think it was her monitor stand or something at work, and she's like, you know, maybe it fell out then, but you know, I would have noticed. Maybe that just jarred it loose, and I know I would have noticed if it would have been within the last 24 hours. I would have noticed it gone, and I'm like, okay, and you know, what do you want to do? And she's like, well, you know, I want to go check at the office, where she'd been earlier in the day, and she's like, you know, the cleaning person will be there, and then, you know, for sure it's gone, but if it's there, you know, I'd like to go look. And I'm like, okay, I'll take you. I'll even go in and look with you. I'd never been in her office or anything. Didn't know who was going to be there. I was hoping it was nobody, because they were close. But I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever is going to make her feel better. Again, I am not in faith that we're going to find this thing, because it's a little shiny rock, and we live in Colorado, where there's lots of shiny rocks that aren't diamonds. Probably maybe, I don't know, maybe there's diamond mines here. I don't know, but there's lots of little shiny rocks in Colorado. And so I'm thinking I'm thinking that it's a waste of time from the standpoint of actually trying to find it, but it might bring her comfort. Okay. So that's where I want to pause for a second and point out the point of this video. I didn't get upset. I wasn't thinking about the money that it was going to cost to replace the diamond. I wasn't thinking about, well, you know, how could you let this happen? I was concerned for my wife. I'm thankful for my wife. And my focus was very positive on making sure she was okay and comforting her, and whatever that took. Didn't care how much it costs, and we're not wealthy by any stretch, but that I was very positive about it. Now, the old me probably would have thought about the money, and I don't even have any idea how much, you know, replacing that diamond would have cost. No clue. But I probably would have gone there by default because I used to be just kind of a kind of guy about everything. It's like real quick to switch on the negative. Not like that anymore. The Lord has really done a lot of work on my heart. I mean, I can be negative, don't get me wrong. But I'm just not, that's not my default. My default is positive. And because I am truly thankful. You know, she's had that wedding ring for 20 years. I mean, I don't know, like my wedding ring, the one I'm wearing right now is rubber because I lost my band for like a week. It had fallen off my nightstand. I couldn't find it and I freaked out. And I'm like, well, I'm only going to wear my gold band, you know, out, like when we go out and stuff. But I want to have a ring on, but I don't want to lose it. You know, it really freaked me out. But not because of the expense, but because of the sentimental value of it. But it's just a solid gold band, and hers has got, you know, lots of little diamonds, and it's real pretty, and you know, and she loves that ring. I mean, as we're traveling to her office, and I'm trying to comfort her that it's okay, you know, we'll get it replaced. It's gonna be fine. She's like, she says something. I think she's joking when she says it. She says, well, no, we'll just have to start over and get a new ring. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll do that. You know, I thought she was joking, but I found out afterwards that she was serious. It's like, that's the diamond that goes with that ring. That's the only way this works. It's all one thing, and that's part of her heart. That's how much she appreciates and loves. And I mean, look, guys, this is not like a diamond that, you know, the size of a baseball or anything like that. These are little diamonds. They're in the ring. So anyway, but we stayed positive. Both of us did. She was cool. I was cool. Nobody freaked out. Nobody panicked. It was just one of those things. It was like, well, you know, life happens, and we're not going to let the enemy steal our joy. You know, we're having date day. We've been up until that point. It was a fantastic day. Fantastic day. I mean, it was a really good day. And so anyway, so we pull in to the parking lot where she works, and we get out, and I'm about to start walking towards the door of the building, and I realize she's not with me. And I turn around, and she's like looking in the parking lot, and I'm like, yeah, no. I'm thinking, if it fell out in this parking lot, there's just no way. So I start joining her. Again, I'm being very positive. I'm loving my wife, showing her that I love her. I'm looking in the parking lot. There's a big crack. It's like it fell down in there. It's like, you know, never be able to see it. And I'm surprised by how many little shiny rocks there are in a parking lot. I mean, it's like, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is, there. It was like, what? I had no idea. I guess I've never looked that closely at asphalt before. There were just tons of little shiny rocks, and none of them were her diamond, as expected. So, but we look, and she's like, well, you know, while the sun's up and everything, and finally, I'm like, yeah, but what about the cleaning person? I don't know if they go in the front door or the back door or what, or if they're already in there. She's like, yeah, you're right. Let's go look. So we go inside, and she's walking ahead of me, you know, because I've never been in the building before. And I'm just like, as we're walking up steps, I'm looking, you know, scanning for, no, what's that? No, that's not one. That's not a diamond, and you know. And so we go up these stairs, and then you go in the doors, and we go in the doors, and she's walking ahead of me, and she's going to walk around to her desk because she wants to let her boss know she was there, I guess, because the after hours, I guess somebody gets an email or something like that if somebody comes in. And so she wants to shoot him a message real quick. Let him know what's going on. And so I'm, you know, kind of trailing behind her. I'm scanning the carpet. Scanning her. Finally, I look down, and there's, you know, what looks like a little sequin is what I think it is. And I'm like, is this it? You know, and totally don't really expect it to be it. And it was her diamond. Right along the path. She could have stepped on it very easily, the path that she took to get around to her desk. And so we found her diamond. And, then of course, celebration, took it to get it repaired, and they fixed it all up, cleaned it all up, and replaced the grippy thingy, I don't know, holds it, some part, and did all this work on it and got it all, back to 100%. And so we're all good. Now, did we find the diamond because I kept a good attitude? No. And we didn't find the diamond because I had faith that we would find the diamond. Now, I can't speak for her, because I don't think she actually told me if she was really believing that we were going to find the diamond. I don't think I asked. So could have been her faith, but it wasn't my attitude that caused us to find the diamond. What caused us to find the diamond was, well, we looked for it. It's really what it boils down to. But the outcome, had we not found that diamond, would have been ultimately the same. That's what I mean when I say that attitude affects outcome. Because if I would have been negative, if I would have, been ugly to her in any way, form, or fashion, and then we didn't find that diamond, she would have felt bad. And I know that. I know that about her. She would have felt responsible. She'd have felt bad about it. And for what? Why? Who cares? Who cares? Obviously she cares. It's her wedding ring. But in the grand scheme of things, it didn't matter. It came loose. Stuff happens. She bumped her hand on something at work, I think like several days before. So very likely had just fallen out that morning. Otherwise it would have gotten sucked up in a vacuum probably. But what difference does it make? Right? If we wouldn't have found it, and I had that same positive attitude that I did have, I could have just continued to comfort her, and we would have still had a positive outcome. She would have maybe wound up with a brand new ring. She did not seem disappointed that she wasn't ending up with a brand new ring, which is I'm grateful for, because it's nice that she still likes the ring that I bought her 20 years ago. And maybe I should start thinking about, maybe for our 25th anniversary, buying her a new upgraded bigger diamond ring or something. I don't know. Hopefully she doesn't see this and get any ideas, but just in case, right? But that's the point. We had a positive attitude. We didn't get down. We didn't get negative. And so regardless, I think it was a miracle that we found, again, little bitty shiny rock in an endless sea of stuff. I do believe that was a miracle. I believe that God rewarded our positivity, our hearts, our attitudes. That's why we found it. But and clearly, if I'd had my way, we wouldn't have found it. I was like, only reason I agreed to go up there with her is because she wanted to. I didn't think that was necessary. I thought it was a waste of time. I really did. But it didn't matter as much that we found the diamond. That's not the outcome I'm talking about. The outcome I'm talking about is any outcome. Finding the diamond, not finding the diamond, whatever. When you have a positive attitude, when you are optimistic, when you are joyful, when you don't let the little things drive you crazy and bring you down, when you speak positive words, you can say you're positive all day long, but if you speak negative words, well, out of the heart, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So as you're developing this positivity, the key to it is being thankful. Thankful for everything, every good thing in your life. Be thankful for it. And yes, you have good things in your life. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. There are good things in your life. There's always something to be thankful for. Cultivate that, and you will see great outcomes. You will see big time storms in life just melt away as you go through them. And you'll come out on the other side, and you won't be all wounded and messed up from it. You'll be stronger. You'll go through with that armor of God on that it talks about in Ephesians, and you will not just survive the storm, but you will thrive in the storm if you keep a positive outlook. And of course, add mustard seed size faith to that, and you will have an awesome, awesome life. This is Christopher Holder with Real Life Ministry. I hope this blessed you. Have a great